Now, APWA isn't just supporting public works professionals in their day-to-day lives, but plays a vital role in both advocating and publicizing the critical work that they do. And here to talk more about that, APWA Director of Government and Public Affairs, Andrea Eales, to take a look at some of the ways APWA has hit the headlines. Thank you again for joining us.
Sure, thank you for having me.
Thank you. We're going to talk firstly about an article from last month looking at how funds are being used for water, road, internet upgrades. Talk us through the story and why this is key for APWA.
So the reporter, Joe Fisher, on this story, he was seeking to highlight what types of projects are being funded, designed, built, etc., from the infrastructure law, the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, also known as the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law. And he reached out to our government affairs media manager, wanting to hear beyond what the administration is publicizing, which tends to be the much larger projects, but what are the day-to-day projects impacted? So that was the genesis of this article.
Not just the only important article, we're going to go to the next one. And this one takes a look at a request for policy improvement from the Environmental Protection Agency. What's this one about? How is APWA involved in this one?
So this is a very important issue that in recent months has really caught the headlines. PFAS, also known as forever chemicals, which are in everyday things we use all the time, whether you're talking about laundry detergent, clothing, shoes, etc., pervasive everywhere. And why it's important to public works is landfills, water systems are dealing with PFAS every single day. There's legislation in Congress right now that is being considered that could possibly hold public works entities liable. So we are really urging Congress to protect the passive receivers, not to punish public works and other entities like the U.S. Composting Council, the National Water Resources Association, whom we wrote an op-ed on and got the attention here. We want Congress to help local communities by protecting them, not treat us like the polluters creating it.
Lastly, a slightly older article, but one with a major impact. Tell us about this op-ed from APWA CEO Scott Grayson and its impact.
So the infrastructure law, which is $1.2 trillion over 5 years, was signed into law by President Biden in November of 2021. However, the funds were not immediately appropriated from Congress. They actually did not get appropriated until months later, 4 to 5 months later. So we saw this lag, and we worked with our CEO to write an op-ed to bring attention to the fact that, yes, this law has so much promise. Our members, communities, everyone is looking forward to this investment, but if Congress doesn't appropriate the dollars, then how are these projects going to get done? So this ended up being incredibly important, and APWA was actually a leader in bringing this to the forefront of attention. And not long after, Congress actually did their job and appropriated the dollars, and the infrastructure law was funded. But it took several months to get there.
That is super incredible. And just this speaks to kind of the larger role that you play when it comes to advocating for these critical issues. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, our members are responsible for providing essential services every single day across their communities. This is clean water, this is dealing with stormwater, this is making sure your roads and bridges are in good working order and your kids can get to school and you can get to work. We activate our members to tell their everyday stories, what they do day to day as operators and practitioners and professionals to protect public health and to ensure the strength and economic viability of our entire country. Public works is essential. And that's the story we try and tell every day through advocacy efforts.
Thank you so much.
Sure.